Media's Mining Weekly is speaking to Peter Steenkamp, the CEO of Harmony Gold. Peter, on what is and on what will Harmony Gold be spending that 7.7 billion rand capital expenditure budget for your 2022 financial year?
Yeah, Martin, we've in the last financial year-end results, we actually had a lot of airtime on our projects. Our major projects are obviously Zaaiplaats, which we now start, which is a deepening of Moab Khotsong mine. And then we are busy with the finalization of a few projects, which is one of them is Target. And we're in the process of doing a sub-75 at Sapong and there's a Doornkop expansion. So Doornkop is actually creating 2 more levels at Doornkop and also increase the volume of the mine over time. And then obviously the big one is also the Mine Waste Solutions career-round tailings facility that we have to build in the next 3 years, which will then actually extend the life of mine of Mine Waste Solutions another 16 years. All 4 of those are the major big projects. Obviously there are some other odds and sort type of kind of projects too that we're going to do, but they are the big ones. I think also note there's the Hidden Valley extension, which takes the Hidden Valley another close to 3 years of life of mining improvement. Yeah.
We're talking now about megawatts of green power. How many megawatts of green power does Harmony intend to generate and when?
The first phase is 30 megawatt. We are in the process now of actually being construction ready. So we will probably in the next week or 2 start with that. And then there's 137 megawatt, which will be a phase 2, which we are fairly well progressed in terms of that process. That obviously we intend building ourselves and then get the full benefit of that program with us. And then, we obviously there's a phase 3, which is still very much into a feasibility stage, which is 139 megawatt plant, which we will do later on. So that will be, FY26, we probably will be finished with that. So that will create quite a lot of energy generation. And then obviously, over time, we'll also close down some of our high cost or energy intensive operations, like for instance, Zaaiplaats and those kind of ones. So all in that, we intend to have an aspiration of 245 to be carbon net zero, but obviously that will entail some work that need to be done on many other fronts too. But those are the first few steps.
And is this going to present a good business case? Is this going green going to present a good business case? You talk about doing some of it yourself, so you must have decided that it's worth actually spending capital, but the first lot you'll get someone else to do and then buy back. Is that correct?
The first is purchase agreement, the first takes 30 megawatt. The rest, but we've seen that in actual fact it's much more lucrative to do it ourselves, and we do have long life assets. We have both, like for instance, Zaaiplaats is a very long life asset for us, Sapong is a long life asset for us. If you look at Doornkop, is going to be a long life asset. That just will make them much more cost effective over time, and the paybacks on those are fairly good, given the current electricity prices that we're looking at.
And also green these days is surface mining, because you're helping the planet to get rid of dump, etc. Your entry into surface mining is becoming pervasive. Just outline the now and the future of your surface mining.
Yeah, I think importantly is that we managed to extend the life of Mine Waste Solutions with another 16 years. It is a very, very lucrative business for us. At the moment, we still have, our profits out of the business are curtailed a little bit within the Franco-Nevada streaming contract that we still have there, but that will come to an end in 3 years from now. But certainly the surface sources are big now. We have 2 plants in the Free State that's fully on recycle or retreatment. Mine Waste Solutions is another one, and there's potentially, obviously, Zaaiplaats can also come into that going forward, provided that we find the proper place to do the tailings TSF for that expansion. So those are the areas that we're currently looking at, and and Zaaiplaats, I said in the presentation, Zaaiplaats is small, but the Zaaiplaats plant is also now on tailings retreatment.
And when you close these mines, you're going to look after the environment. You're talking about using some of the surface material there, Bambanani, etc. Gives you an opportunity. But what about actual closure and making the place look good?
Yeah, we're doing a lot of closures and rehabilitation work at the moment. We spend quite a number of money. I don't have the figure in front of me now. That we spend on an annual basis in terms of cleaning up the environment. And obviously that's also very much part of what the long-term plans will be for forestation and carbon credits work that we need to be done. So that's all potential things that we do. But yes, we are closing down mines. So we've closed I think 48 shafts in the Free State already that we've managed to break down the headgear, break down the area, make it cleaning up the areas. So we have done quite a lot of that work in the past, so that it will really bring our footprint or the size of our footprint down.
And you make sure you plant indigenous trees.
We always plant indigenous trees.
And some people say it's got to be endemic. What was growing there in Free State, they want it there again. So it might just be grass, or is it always trees?
No, I think it is usually a lot of grass in that area, but obviously there will be here and there shrub type of trees in that area too. But it's grass is mainly the old Free State areas. If you look at those that still remain.
How much did you share in this half year, and to whom did you share it with?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, Harmony, I'm not talking about half year, but certainly in the full year, we've shared 31 billion to do the tellings rand of money that we've spent in South Africa. That is on salaries, on electricity, on consumables. And most of that money is ring-fenced for South Africa, because we don't necessarily bring in a lot of the suppliers outside of South Africa. So that's a massive amount of money that is spent. If you think about it, what we just spent in, for instance, Welkom area, all that salaries that people are buying in that shops, and they are doing all the rest of it. If you think about, Bombolani is a very good example. We've extended the life of mine by mining the shaft pillar, which probably not many companies would do. We've done it, and we've done it safely. We created 4 billion rand of profit for Harmony over the time. But we also, all the salaries that the 1,500 people that worked there for all the time, all that was back into the community in terms of value creation, in terms of the GDP that was just created for that particular thing. So if you think about, mining in South Africa last year, we've spent 31 billion. It's probably going to be more or less, definitely going to be more this year because of the extra Mpuning mine and mine waste solutions that we have part of our portfolio.
And what is your number one priority going forward?
It's always safety. We've, improving our safety performance. We've put an enormous amount of time and effort in terms of creating a safety culture that we believe is right for Harmony. We work very, very hard on the systemic side of it to make sure that we actually understand what's happening in our operations, that we understand the golden controls, what's happening, all those things are in actual fact place, and it's highlighted all through the organization. The data management of that is actually quite extraordinary. And then second to that is obviously to look at the training the culture, and that's what we've done the hard work as far as that's concerned. But now it is really embedding that culture on the operations. So improving our safety in deep level gold mines. I'm a firm believer that we can mine these mines safely. So we know we have just proved that to the outside world.
But how do you change people's minds and hearts, as you said you want to do?
Well, that is the issue, Martin, and that is where you can't just change them by telling them. You have to take very specific programs. That in itself is like a 2 to 3 day process I can take you through. In terms of what we have is to actually change the leadership styles of our employees, getting the people a sense of belonging, giving them part of things of our minds, and actually, in fact, very, very importantly, change their own attitude. So we always talk about dropping it from the mind to the heart. To have the heart for safety, So, that is the work that we're doing, and we've been doing it now for since 2017. So, we're working very hard on it. I'm very glad to say that of late we've seen very, very good results in terms of long times of long areas of certain operations going without fatalities, and we're very grateful for that.
That was Creamer Media's Mining Weekly, speaking to Peter Steenkamp, the CEO of Harmony Gold.